Hey people, what's going on? It's Jameel, and I just want to speak a little bit on the scenario that the state of Michigan created, the federal government created, the city created. Uh, so I'm Jameel. I'm Jameel Rawls. I live in the Muskegon area, and I've been going through something called contract stalking, or popularly known as gang stalking. And a lot of people don't have the mental capacity. A lot of people don't have the patience. They don't have the articulation to witness what I'm speaking about and to break it down and to put it in proper context. The main reason for that being is it's not happening to them. Another main reason for it being is they just don't have the time. And so a lot of people come up with all sorts of excuses and come up with all sorts of alternative explanations. The bottom line is I go through government-based harassment, stalking. A lot of the people involved in it, I'm sure some of them are Freemasons. I've seen people at the Vikings Lodge, the Mod Rat Club, the Lakeside Veterans Club, people who moonlight, have a lot of time on their hands. And these people go around as private investigators or other sorts of investigators and contract people to do something to me, to follow me. Some of the things that happen is people will be paid just to drive by me and just look at me in my face. Just drive by me and just look at me in my face. And this happens over and over and over again. And I don't want contact with these individuals. I don't know them. I don't want them around me. This is a form of harassment. Now, this happened to somebody every single day for a duration of time, for days, weeks, months, years. How do you think they would feel about it? So, take it a step further. I can go meet a woman. And this has happened to me with multiple different women. And next thing you know, just because I like the woman, they will pay her to drive in a car with some other guy and drive by me and look at me in my eye. Or attempt to, if they can't do it. And this is something that has been it's not about necessarily exactly who's all involved in it, who's all doing it. It breaks it down to a more serious question: who's allowing stuff like this to happen? So you got to imagine if you sat there and you sent some woman flowers and you talked about her on YouTube, and the individual followed you over and over and over again, not saying anything to you, just following you everywhere you go. Then eventually in the car with other people, other guys following you. How do you think, how would that make somebody feel? Then women who you don't even know do it. I was speaking to a woman on the phone. Her name was Ashley. She lived in Holland. And she came I talked to her for a couple days about Hindu astrology, all sorts of other subjects. I'm an alternative researcher. And she came to Muskegon and she was following me around. Somebody contacted her and approached her, probably told her, yeah, we're doing some sort of investigation on Jameel and we need you to help us. Some stupid, lame excuse that doesn't even exist, right? And one of the reasons why I think the people behind this are mainly white is because they have a fear of black people. I've noticed when it comes to the contract stalking stuff, they try to use fears against people. And I've been around, I'm mixed. I've been around black people my whole life. And the people who do this are afraid of black people because they hire groups of people I don't know. To be honest with you, it's mostly white people. But I'll go to certain places and they'll go find people who are black just to follow me. And it doesn't bother me. I look at it, it doesn't bother me any more than I would look at it as it being a white person. That shows me that the people doing this are afraid of black people. Their worst fear would be a black person walking up to about 3 or 4 black people, walking up to them and confronting them. Because they're a coward. The people out there paying money to do this to me, they don't come in my face. I think they're afraid of me. I think they're afraid of me because they know if I know who they are, the people who I don't know, they know I'm going to go on the internet and run my mouth about their name, If I saw a picture of them, I'd probably laugh, and they know it. They know I'd sit there and talk about them, talk about their mama and everything. They know that. They wouldn't walk up to me and say nothing. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. They have to go hire other men because they can't do what they want. They feel weak, so they have to pay people to follow people. That's my interpretation of it. That's my interpretation of it. You know? I wish I could be with one of them and alone in a room like this for about 20 minutes. That's what I want. I wish I could be, that's not a threat. I'm just saying, I wish I could be with one of the people who've been out there doing this to me on a more secretive level. I wish I could be with them alone in a room and just ask them, what did you get from doing this to me? I want them to say something to me. I know what I'll do to them. I know what I'll do to them. You know, and so that's one of the biggest things that I tell people is you get approached by people that you don't even know and they follow you around. It happens so much throughout the day, you get tired of it. Like people pull up to a sign and look at me and I'll just hold my hands up like this, like what do you want? And they'll just keep going. After a while, you get tired of interacting with these people and you know, it's really a mistake of mine that I'm so polite with people and I'm gentle with people and I try to educate people on subjects because most people don't really care. They don't care what I'm talking about. They don't care what's going on. They think somehow they're going to get over on me. They think somehow they're going to get over on me, that they're going to do something to me. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And it's people who don't even know me. You know. So I've been around for a while. You know, I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and I know it's inappropriate for people to be following people around who they don't know. So one of the things that happened to me is I can imagine a lot of the cowardly people who live near me in my area, they'd say things about me like, oh, Jameel talks about women on YouTube and he's all over the internet with these girls and all this stuff. But a lot of these people, especially a couple years ago, when it came to the contract stalking, they would use their wives as sluts to do sexual type gestures and stuff for the gang stalking stuff and use their daughters to do it. And part of the reason why I become so foul over time is because of how I'm treated. How people use themselves and use their families to try to do something to me and humiliate me and act out a certain way. See, what comes through with me on the internet is a reflection of what's been happening to me.